Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about 6 ways that you can create and come up with financial goals that may work for your family. First goal is be specific about your financial goals. For example, if you want to just put, I want to save more money. Well, that's great that you want to do that, but how much would you like to save? Maybe also, what purpose would you like to save? Like, you might say instead, I would like to save some money for a trip to visit my family, or I would like to save some money on some home repairs that are needed. And you might get a special savings account and maybe set aside whatever you feel you can do each month for that and have a goal. So be specific in your goals. That's number 1. Number 2, write them down or type them out. Yesterday, before my financial goals that I wanted to share with you what I wanted to do, I actually wrote them out and then I typed them up on a Word document and printed them out. They're also on my computer and I hung them on my refrigerator. So please write them down. Also, decide on how you're going to accomplish those goals. Sometimes people's full-time job, if they have one, isn't quite enough to do all the financial goals they may have. So they may have to come up with something else. Example, Saturday I'm doing a product demonstration, and so I'll make about $80 doing that. Next Sunday I'll be doing an exit interview and I'll be making $90 doing that. So there's $170 extra dollars I wasn't expecting going into the budget. Now I have to decide, what do I want to do with that $170? Well, I had told you that I had to pay taxes. So with the $170, I'm going to put that and help rebuild that one emergency savings. So that's what I've decided to do with that. Next, set priorities. This for me is the most challenging. And tomorrow I'm going to show you my spreadsheet and how I prioritize different wants and needs for our family. Some are small things, some are medium priced things, and some are larger things. And some things are needs and some are wants. For example, 2 things that I purchased this year that I already paid for is a back door and a dishwasher. Well, the door, it couldn't be repaired anymore. What's more of a need, a door or a dishwasher? Well, obviously the door, but to be honest, I bought the dishwasher first because I do a lot of cooking. Both are paid for though. So those were larger ticket items and we had to plan ahead for them. Also, I put down to please keep weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. Some things it might be a month. You might say, gosh, this month I want to save $25 for an upcoming birthday party. Or a yearly one might be, you know what, I want to travel to California next year, and we'll say that you live on the East Coast, to visit my family, and that trip's going to cost us $2,400. Let's start saving now for that yearly goal. So that would be an example. Also, another thing is, reevaluate your goals. Sometimes some goals may not be doable or you might change your mind. Like for example, I've put down some things on my list of wants and needs that I have, and some of them I ended up thinking about it going, you know what, I really don't want or need that anymore. So you can reevaluate financial goals and decide that you change your mind on some things, and that's okay. One thing that I don't think I've touched on yet that I feel is important is be realistic about our goals. Sometimes I think we can beat ourselves up because we can't keep up with what other people are doing. And I've seen a lot of budgeting videos and I've spoken to a lot of people over time. And there's some people that might make $100,000 a year. Their families are $125,000. There's some people that they're trying to live off $30,000 or $32,000. Well, guess what? And they may have different costs of living where they live and all that, and we don't know these specific people's finances, but you have to be realistic. So let's say if you made $2,000 a month, and after all your bills that you have to pay, we'll say you have $600 left over. Well, you may not be able to do as much with that money as somebody that has $2,000 left over. I had a boyfriend that I used to date that was a physicist, a very bright guy. He was one of the most frugal people I knew. He lived off half of his income, but he made a lot of money, I'll just say that. that was back in the early 90s, and he made a good income back then. He lived off half of his income, and he invested and saved the rest. So, you know, it depends on how much money you make. We don't want to compare ourselves to others, and I feel like in many ways we don't want our goals to be so big that we can't attain them and then get upset and then give up. I really believe if you haven't even started doing financial goals, I think it's good to start with something small. That way you can celebrate the small victories. And like I said, and just one other thing I want to mention is that sometimes Murphy happens, or things happen that can come in between our financial goals and what we want to accomplish. That happens to all of us, and sometimes they all hit at once. That's why it's important to have a little bit of an emergency savings just in case. But you know what? All we can do is be there to encourage each other and just take it one day at a time. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you my spreadsheet, which many of you have requested to see, about how I budget for large items and how I take care of wants and needs in our family, and my spreadsheet that I've got color-coded that may be helpful to some of you, and I'd be happy to send you all a copy. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it, and I love y'all. This is Money Mom signing off. Bye.